evening. Welcome to the Dice Gods. My name's Hydra. Right, I don't really need that tonight, do I? Let's be honest. You know who I am and you know where you are. You chose to be here. You've got no one to blame but yourself. Alright, so how is everyone? How are we doing? I am, and this will come as a shock, slightly, not with it. Well, that's not accurate. That's not fair. That's selling myself somewhat short. I am a little busy, as ever, doing all the launchy stuff and telling the world that I'm online and all that stuff, because they need to know. You're here, you must think it's worth hanging out with me. You fool. Anyway, no one to blame but yourself. Goes there. Yeah, Facebook. I hit publish because I wanted it to publish. You'd never think it was true, but it is. Right. Man, where are we going to go? Oh yeah, Discord. Got to tell the Discord chaps as well. I haven't got Twitch up either, look at that. Right, get rid of this one, don't need that. The joys of software asking you if you need to do a thing you clearly don't need to do. I'm fine. Perfectly fine. Turn that on. Yep. Oh, Blissful Badger. Hello, good evening. Welcome, buddy. How are you? Over on the Twitch. Nice to see you. How you been? Good week? All that jazz? Right, let's bug everybody on Discord. It's kind of my whole thing. Somehow my my goodness, right, I'm nearly there. Yes, I wasn't joking. Right, good. There we go. My goodness, decent. I'm trying to get YouTube to open. It's being stupid right now. Yeah, I think that's just the internet in general. I have decided that is the state of things. It could just be my day. That could be my dour outlook after today. Oh no, I had a good day. I had a good day. I just had a very, when you have that stressful, like, when you've got to go and do something and the last 5 minutes before you have to do it, it all goes a bit where someone, and I'm not naming any names because blame is it's an ugly thing. It's an ugly thing, is blame. Somebody was supposed to order a USB adapter for their PC this week so that they could plug in 2 lights into one PC, and they didn't. Therefore, the one that they were supposed to borrow, the USB adapter they were supposed to borrow to get 2 lights running on their stream, the wife who owns said USB adapter is using it. So then we had to figure out how we can get 2 lights running. When it was a whole thing. You're like, okay, I'm running. You're not going to Ibiza, but you're here for the Monday stream. Always good to have you, Robin. So yeah, it was a bit of that last 5 minutes was like, oh, just set the lights up and we're all fine. Oh my God, I'm going to look terrible. I mean, clearly. But anyway, right, that's that done. That's that done. I think I'm nearly there. What normally happens is I finish the stream. Oh, Blissful Badger's in 2. I've got a Blissful Badger echo saying different things in 2 places. You're in. Good evening. Operation Online was clogged. Really? You're Dutch. I mean, I guess it's not racist if you say it. Yeah. So we have a lot to talk about tonight. It's been a busy old week. It has been a busy old week. It really has. But I got to do one more thing because I need to do the thing. And I actually do. Every time I type in Twitch, it goes, did you mean Twitter? Well, Twitter doesn't exist anymore, which is a shame. And the thing that replaced it, I deinstalled from my phone this week because I finally had enough of the volume of just bleh coming through from that particular app. So that's gone. So we're getting that painting stream. Oh, for the love of God, man. Really? 5 minutes in and you're already coming out with the... Where is the ban button on YouTube anyway? I think I can just... Can I mute you? Is that a thing? I can probably mute you. Add as moderator. That sounds like a bad idea. Hide user on this channel. Don't push me. Although, the way things are going today, I'll probably just pin the message instead. That's kind of my whole shtick today. No, where is that going? Maybe this week. Maybe on Thursday. I might. I have. So I've got a lot of stuff to do this week. What, make you a moderator or mute you? That's good. I'm not making you a moderator. Well, there's not enough of us to be moderated. If the number of, if it's kind of like, if you've got like more than, I don't know, 20 to 1 in the members to moderators ratio, I think you've gone a little bit far, but you've got the sniff of power. I can see, Robin. You're like, maybe. Anyway, I have some big things to do this week, so hopefully I can get those done start of the week, and then maybe Thursday afternoon I shall embarrass myself I shall stream painting, because I've got a lot to do. I have a lot to do still. This is not news, let's be honest. What I've got to do is I need to paint 3 miniatures for the Escalation League, which I have yet to rebook my game for. One man crowd, good evening, hello, welcome, good to see you. Are you well? It constantly surprises me. I log on and then there's like 10 of you all of a sudden, and that doesn't sound like a lot because there's people out there with thousands, but I don't know why it's great that you're here. Thank you for joining. Lovely to have you aboard. Yeah, so I've got 3 miniatures to paint for the local Escalation League. Paint and talk then. No, see, so Mondays, I love Mondays. Mondays I have both, well, I have one of my kids is home all day and the other one goes to school and then comes back in the afternoon. So it's Papa Daycare Day, and I love Papa Daycare Day. But it is like being smashed repeatedly in the face by 2 incredibly cute and incredibly cuddly little, and so it's very tiring. And I'm not in the mood to paint, I've got to be honest. Although I did a bit this morning actually, I'll say that, when the youngest went for a nap. I got a bit of painting in, but as a rule, by this time of the day on a Papa Daycare Day, I'm done. We cooked. It's over. So, finished painting my first 2 Infinity Minis. Woo! Currently working on some BattleTech. Should have my first bolt action game on Saturday. All over the place. I hear you. I absolutely hear you. With the announcement last week, so the announcement last week of the new Eldfall stuff coming out, it's kind of like January is the release of the Soga stuff. We can kind of manage that. I kind of had Eldfall penciled in for the start of next year anyway. If I can, we'll finish the How to Play Warcrow stuff to the end of the year this year, then we'll hit the How to Play Eldfall stuff at the start of next year. That's fine. That all feels kind of manageable and cuddly. And then Battlefront was kind of like, hold my World War II beer. Talk about that in a minute. So, you know, so did I get that right? If we misbehave enough, then someone will get more. No. You do. No one gets moderator if you misbehave enough. And if you do, if it was to be anyone to get it, it would not be Robin. It would not. I might trust the machine to do it, but he'd probably ban himself. Which wouldn't surprise me. And one man crowd, you aren't even on the list for moderator. Somehow that feels like, it's kind of like when I think about making you a moderator, I get a fight or flight response for the entire room. So it's probably a bad thing. So I'm probably just going to leave that as not one of the options. Tell me I'm wrong. Any of you. What do I do? What do I do? Just generally, machine. I love you dearly. And there's certain things I trust you with, like a D20. I absolutely trust you with that. Power of control over a chat room. There's points. Anyway. But yeah, so I know what you mean, Blissful Badger. I kind of had it planned out what I was doing. Auxilla, good evening. Just in and out. Grab it. Okay. Have a great night. I will do. Thank you very much, Auxilla. Thank you for being here. Albeit briefly. He's biased. Who's biased? I'm not biased. Of course I'm biased. What am I talking about? This ghost stands to reason. Yay! 3 viewers over on Twitch. Hello, people over on Twitch. I appreciate that, because that's where we're going to be streaming the painting. That's where it's going to happen, because we're going to be like in the... I can't remember what the group is. The Painting and Hobby group? That's where we're going to be doing it. Nah, not a good idea. Exactly. See? Machine knows. So, yes, Little Badger, I hear you. And so suddenly we've got the stuff from Battlefront coming up. Kaz isn't in yet, right? Because Kaz keeps pressuring me. It's just terrible. Keep getting pressured to play Star Wars Legion by him, which I'm in no way, shape or form interested in. Plus all the other stuff I've got going on. So yeah, I feel your pain. Thank you, Little Badger. Miniatures and models. Glad one of us knows. I'm just there. I'm not, I think it's cool that they have that on Twitch, though. I think that's very, very awesome. We have so much to talk about tonight. We have so much. There's something to do with clogs as well. Contaminator. Good evening. What is it that you contaminate specifically, or is it just generalized contamination that you spread, just non-specific? I seem to spread infinity. But anyway, we've all got our crosses to bear. That appears to be mine. So anyway, how was everyone's week? Blissful Badger apparently has been being somewhat schizophrenic when it comes to which particular system he's playing, trying to play all of them, paint all of them, and do all of them simultaneously at the same time, all together. Not the best move. You can try it. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be so successful. I was gonna put clogs in the thumbnail. I'm at that point now where I'm like, right, that's it. The Great Dutch Clog Off. I think that's how you make little Dutch people. Anyway, it could be. It could be. So, how was everyone's week? I know. Imagine the tessellator from scenes. Oh right, okay. So you're that, but to avoid any sort of copyright issues, you're. I see. Well, that's clever. I like it. I like it. Back as a bit. Where's what's going? Ronald, good evening, good evening, good evening. Another familiar face. Always love to see a Buccaneer in house. It's clocking time, for goodness sake. What was that game we played the other night? I played a board game the other night for the first time in ages. Everdale? Everdale. Cuddly animals. Very cute. Very enjoyable. That was fun. That was a good bit this week, I have to say. I've got a little bit of painting done, as I say. Doing a little bit of work on. So, when you have a plan, because you have a thing that you have to do. So I have to get an extra point in our local escalation league. I have to paint 3 miniatures between rounds, and this month is the third round. So this month we've got to have it, and I'm waiting to book the game. It was booked, and then they've sort of cancelled it and moved it a little bit. But that's by the by. I've got to paint 3 miniatures. I've chosen 3 tags. In hindsight, this may have been an error, a slight moment of confusion on my judgment, but if I do it, it'll be amazing. I'm not sure that I will, but I'm going to try, because, yeah, I want to. That's what it comes down to. So, because I try and do the grown-up thing where I paint the stuff that needs to be painted, so that your light infantry, your fire team members, stuff like that. Like, right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that done. Which is why I've been painting the what's his name? The lieutenant dude for Shindin Mutai. I've lost his name. I can see it, but I can't think of it. Anyway, I've been painting him for a little while and tinkering away. And I'm not particularly inspired by him, but he needs to be done. Mitsuki? Might be a Mitsuki. Anyway, I've been painting him for a while, but he doesn't particularly inspire. So I was like, I'm going to be kind to myself. It is a Mitsuki. Go me. I'm going to paint something that I love, and I love tags. Tags are, awesome. So I was like, I'll paint a tag. I'll paint the other tag. I'll paint one more tag. I don't know. Everdale's good, surprisingly deep cuddle animals. Yeah, it's the one with the cards and stuff. It was very cool. I love it very much. Get the biggest box. Yeah, it was a gift. It was a gift my wife was given. So we were trying it out, and it was a lot of fun. So, Yep, Mitsuki. Yeah. The Mitsuki is a very cool little unit, and it's. I mean, he's in process. He's in process. He's not nowhere near done. It's like we're tinkering on it. And that's, you know, that's fine. But then I just decided to be kind to myself and do something that I liked and that I wanted to paint, and that turned out to be tags, and then, you know, painting 3 tags in what is probably about a week when you have a load of other stuff to do. What could go wrong? Not known for my brains. Anyhow, so that was my week, making poor decisions and reaching out to interesting companies and saying, hey, could I have a look at your products? And them going, yes, and me thinking, damn it. More on that in a second. Yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't think I had, on Saturday night, I was sort of watching demos happening, which was good. 4 newbies were getting brushed up and ready for the tournament on the 22nd. So, which had a really interesting consequence, which we're also going to talk about later. When I sort of settled in, I don't want to peek too soon. Save the good stuff. Definitely save the good stuff later. But, yeah, what's everyone else been doing? I know, because, Robin, I think you've, apart from running one of the demos on Saturday night, somewhat expertly, you did alright. I've seen worse. And Machine, actually, you ran the other one, didn't you? I have the two demo gods here. It's amazing. You guys did a great job. Very excited newbies as well. Nearly very excited newbies. So that was good. That was nice. What's everyone else been doing? You're working on Germans last. Are you working on Germans? I think you're working on Germans last I saw. I'm doing a very good job, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong on that front. And Contaminator, what have you been up to? What's everyone been doing? Tell me. And don't forget, if you can, follow on Twitch, because, you know, then the painting happens. That's interesting. Look at all the source information between the different services. I have so much to learn with this old streaming malarkey. I really do. It's an interesting experience. So. Where are we at? Played a lot of games. It's sort of ingrained in my system. Yeah, you're very much a board gamer and RPGer and stuff. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. Attention span of a stunned duckling. That's the problem. Just do all the things, but you know, keeps you out of trouble, doesn't it? Pimping some trees here for the upcoming games, so the Germans have to wait, most unfortunate. Yeah, because you have a bit of an invasion going on, from what I've been seeing. You have a, like, wad of people coming in. That lovely moment when you're kind of like, yeah, we'll host a game at mine, and then people say, yeah, that sounds great. Damn it, everyone's coming. It should be good. It sounds like it'll be fun. It sounds like it'll be fun. So I think I have a night coming up where we're going to have another set of the newbies being trained before the tournament. Yes, squirrels, that's you, very much so. It's really interesting. We have a lower lag on Twitter than we do on YouTube. Why? Who knows? Been trying to finish my friend's Fasty, but also getting some very silly Merif lists for a local late Halloween event using the Xeno missions from 2018. My goodness, that is going back. And I am jealous. Now that we can play Mirror Vision, now that we can play the Terran Capitoline Army, which came second at a tournament on the weekend, I saw, came second, NCA. Anyway, I mean, I can see it, I can understand why, but that makes the temptation grow. But yeah, Mirror Vision, I miss it. I'm still really stuck by the fact that the Metros got upgraded from 0.5 SWC to 1 SWC for a heavy machine gun. They got a jump of 1 BS. Went up 1 BS. Went up half an SWC. Totally ruined the 5 Shazvasti, 5 HMG Metro core link that you used to be able to do. That was so much fun. I mean, yes, it shoots better, but you don't want it to shoot better. In fact, it doesn't shoot better because a 5-man core link used to be effective BS 13, whereas now it's effective BS 12. So it actually got worse, and then the price went up. Not fair. It's going to be tight, but it's going to be alright. You're most welcome as well. Thank you very much. If you need to borrow any terrain, do let me know. You can come around and pick it up. I have trees and stuff upstairs, so you don't have to. Just let me know if you need it. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I have a horrible feeling in the next few years, because this whole shock army thing is turning out to be interesting, which members, there's going to be an update, I think this week, where I'm going to sort of run through what I know I've got, what I've probably got, what there's the potential for me to have, and our status. Yeah, there was a lot. Did it grow and fester? Buy for the 6th. No, it's not buying for the 6th time. I think Mirror Visions I've only owned twice, so it would be buying for... No, I've only owned them once. I owned them once, and they went in the box for a long time, and then they came out, and they got added to. Yeah. Too late. Okay, sorry. Apologies. You can always, if you need, you can always ask. It's fine. It is fine. You can ask. You may get a no. It happens. Or sometimes it happens. Yeah, it's been a busy old week. It has been a busy old week. What are we going to talk? Should we do some? There's going to be a bit of jumping around stuff tonight, because there is. Let's have a look. So yeah, let's talk about one of the releases this week that's nice and interesting and exciting and good news. I put it on socials. I put it on some socials the other day, but jump over here. Ooh. Now I have been a Flames of War fan for a long period of time, and we've been waiting for the release of Early War. So if you're not up to date, Flames of War is, I think, 50 mil scale company levels, so quite large armies for World War II. Especially, and when I jumped in at the start of this current edition, we were in the midst of doing late war, so from D-Day to the end, basically. And they did all that, and that sort of ended last year, actually. That was when that all came to an end, if memory serves, with the Battle of Berlin. And then they said, we're going to do early war, it's going to be great. And it kind of got kicked a little bit, but finally it's coming. So we're going to have Blitzkrieg, we're going to have the start of that war. Of the Second World War. So there's going to be a book that comes out. They announced this yesterday, which was kind of, we knew it was coming, but we didn't know that it was going to happen this quickly. So 145-page book covering the 3 main antagonists, units, guys, in that. So that's cool. Then we've got 2 starter sets, the Maginot line, with Germans, Panzer IIIs, Panzer IIs, some guns, okay, and then some French, S-35, Hotchkiss, and some infantry. Now the starter sets for Flames of War are always really, really good. You know, you get a reasonably sized force, you get the rule book, you get, so it uses a unit card system, and you get dice and all the rest of it. So it's pretty good. They tend to be reasonably priced as well. So yeah, Germans versus the French, and then we have Dunkirk with Germans versus the British. So a motorised rifle company for the Germans, and 2 Stugs, which is kind of cool. And the British get some A13s, some Mark 60, yeah, 5C, 6C, whatever, those, and 2-pounder guns as a rifle platoon, plus the same MacGuffin as well. And again, it's going to be a really good way of doing it. That Dunkirk box is somehow it's going to end up in my pocket. I don't know how. And then you also get the army boxes that come with it as well. So these tend to be, the game is played at about 100 points, and this will be your full 100 points pretty much you can make out of those sets. So that's really, really funky that you're going to be having all of those as well available to expand straight away. I'm hoping that they're saying they're going to be accompanied with troops, dice, token, and all the rest of it. So I'm hoping there's going to be more that comes with them later, but you know, we shall see. We shall see. It's good. It's very much needed. Things with Flames of War have kind of stagnated since the end of late war, so it's going to be cool that it's going to be funky, and it's going to have all the good stuff in it. So, hey Psycho, yes indeed, so many bucks. He goes to wall. Robin, are you gonna join in on Flames? Are you gonna make the dive and join in Flames of War? It's a fun system. I actually already had a French Normandy themed table, so that will work perfectly fine for Dunkirk, etc. The 15 mil. It's it's a taste. It's you either love it or you don't. And I think I like bolt action because you have that kind of smaller scale, but the sweeping feeling of doing like a full battle engagement with a Flames of War army. It's cool. It's a lot of fun. Good evening, Neil. I see we're changing to a different account this evening. It's good to see. It's always exciting to figure out which particular version of you we're going to get. And this evening it's the type that comes in a shed, apparently. So, how are you, buddy? Are you well? Good week? What have you been up to? I've seen some interesting stuff, I think, appearing over on Discord at various points. Stories and such. So that's cool. But how are you? You just missed the look at the early war, Flames of War stuff, which is looking expensive. I have enough trouble. Yeah, no, I remember you saying, man. I remember you saying. No, better not. Squirrel Mind would like it, but Father Time is less forgiving. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. There's a finite amount of hours in the day, and I mean, you've got Infinity, you've got Warcrow, and you've got Eldfold, so, you know, that's an uneven number. You should get a Flames of War, because then you have 4, which is an even number, which is a good choice. Just put now there. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Neil. Flames of War is war. And you do feel it when you have that kind of whole company feel happening across the board. It's cool. I like it. I only got into it with the latest version. I want to say 4th edition. It's 4th edition, isn't it? I think, current. Because I tried to get into it with 3rd. There's a whole story, but I tried to get into it with 3rd, and it wasn't particularly... The community was very, very historical. And I'm not... I know that will come as a surprise. I know that you'll think... I know that you'll think that I am, in fact, a font of knowledge for this, including on things such as history, but I'm not. I'm sorry. It's just not my jam. So I play Flames of War like I play bolt action, that's cool. So yeah, noted about the listening in. Percusaurus. I haven't heard anyone talk about Flames of War in quite a while. I can believe it because they finished. When on earth? I see. Now I need to know. When did Flames of War Berlin? It was Berlin, German, wasn't it? I think. It was quite a while back. No. That doesn't help. I love it when you can't even type the thing. That's not that. That's wrong. It's previous edition. 2023. Don't you love it when you find a review that you wrote yourself? So yeah, the Berlin books were 2023 through that era. 2024, we've had sort of compendium books released. So the way they've historically done it is they've released, like, for a specific theatre, let's say Bulge, you got, for the Battle of the Bulge, you got an American book and a British book and a German book. So you got 3 distinct separate books. And then they've been going back to those areas. We've had Bagration and we've had D-Day. They've smushed them together, added some bits and put out these bumper books, which is, you know, cool, fair enough. But we've had that for the past 18 months. The stuff they've added to the books has not been, like, really inspiring. It's been kind of, oh yeah. So I've seen locally it's been kind of waning because you need fresh things to do with it. Especially if you're a veteran in the system, you need something new to fire things up. And it's not been, yeah, it's not been inspiring. So I can totally believe that, Perky. I love the fact you're making me say Perky on a stream. So that's adorable. Also see the SHD agent on the door next time. I'll pay attention to my watch. Okie dokie. All good here, bud. Just designing some custom trays for a client. Nice. Good stuff, Neil. Yeah, some folks say it's a transition, but I think it worked well with the move over to include what Battlefront learned from Team Yankee. Yeah, I mean, from what you understand about it, the previous edition was much more historically accurate, but because of that, you kind of needed 15 books if you wanted to take this formation from it. So if you've not seen Flames of War, you build a army around a formation which has certain required units and then certain units that can be added to it, and it's supposed to be, in the current edition, it's historical, whereas in the previous edition it was historical for the most part. So if you wanted to play a specific opponent, you had to choose a specific era and often a specific theatre, which meant you needed the specific book to go with the specific thing with the specific, and it was very, very, very serious. And then they've, as you say, they learnt from Team Yankee, and the current edition is more the game of the movie of the TV series of World War II, which is great, because as a filthy casual player, that's exactly what I want. I have no interest in having a history degree to write a list. That's just not my thing at all. So, Clash of the Clogs. At least one tournament need to be named that this year. God. Clogs and Togs for the armour tournament. Oh, for God's sake. Only if you bring a Tog 2. If you bring a Tog 2, I don't know, can we bring Togs in bolt action? I'm not sure. We should be able to. Somebody needs to make that. Yeah, you could really build anything in historical action with Paramount. No, you still have the flexibility, but only if you want to. That's exactly it, Neil. You have the choice. It was like that, Robin. It's why I bounced off the previous edition, because I bought into Flames of War. I bought in with one of the starter sets, Hit the Beach, the original Hit the Beach, and I painted some miniatures up and I stuck them on Facebook and literally got wrong colours. What era is this supposed to be? Blah, blah. No thanks. This was me showing off my painting. I wasn't taking an exam. And I think I sold it within a week. I was just like, no, that's not. If that's how the community wants to be, that's cool, that's fine. That's not my jam. So certain rivet counters can be like that. But I have found that since moving into the Flames of War community more actively, that is, as ever, a vocal minority. They're the ones that jump on you, whereas the other one's just given, like, you know, one of those things. Well, Robin, I guess you're just going to have to get a demo. Just to help me, because I need to get practice. I've sort of, I've lost my way a little bit. I need a bit of practice. You'll be helping me out, really. That's the thing, I think. That's definitely the thing. So, yeah. I say, your rivets too far apart and look to be welded rather than hot pressed. See, Neil, the fact you know the difference between welded and hot pressed, your rivets are showing. But no, it's true. It's true. And I've seen people that have an issue with the miniatures because they're like, well, actually, this isn't, and this isn't, and it's like that. If that's your thing, I totally get that. That's absolutely cool. But some of them get a bit obsessive over telling you how bad everything is. So, Robin, demo. Do you want Germans or English? I'll let you choose. So I'm feeling kind. Never wanted to play late war Americans in my area. Never wanted mid-war. Yeah. Yeah, well, they did release the mid-war book in the compendium, and then they sort of went, and we're bringing everything back. And it was back for 15 minutes, and they went out of stock. Because I had a desire to put together a Africa Corps force for Flames of War, and I had a little starter to it and all the rest of it, and then you couldn't buy the infantry and you could only buy some of the tanks. I was just like, if I can't buy it, I can't play it. So, really frustrating. I've spent so long in this hobby, mate. Some right knobs. I can believe it. We all have. Africa campaign is awesome. It is. It's really, really interesting. Boom. There you go. Yep. I know. Well, they're not going back for mid-war yet. I'm intrigued, actually. It's one of the things that intrigued me. I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go back to that page for a second. It's one thing that interested me about that book is that you've got the German, French, and British forces all in there. So this is like a one and done book. which is not what I expected. I expected that there would be more to it, that they'd bulk it out a little bit and do a German, French and British and maybe cover a broader area, but apparently it's just a one and done. So, yeah. I guess we can get into mid-war quicker, but I guess that's going to be... I don't know. I'm intrigued. I don't see them iterating to a new edition anytime soon, but maybe they are. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe we do early war and then we've sort of done the desert for mid-war already, so then we do the other bits of mid-war and then just iterate. But I hope not. We shall see. We shall see. Oh, Dylan Areno, thank you very much. Thank you for becoming a member. That is amazing. Appreciate that greatly. You're a legend. Welcome to the awesomeness. Abso-freaking-lutely. We tripped over. Just thank you so much. What? So Dylan Areno. I love your name. You were here a week or so back, and I loved your name then, and I love it now. Which games, which systems are you in on? Introduce yourself to the Funny Farm. Tell us who you are and what you do. Game-wise, I don't want to be invasive, but yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. It's welcome. It's really bizarre because we now have the channel now has over 100 members and Patreons across YouTube and Patreon. Really, I completely blows my head out entirely. Incredibly grateful. I have to say I'm humbled as well because I'm a influencer now. I have to say that I'm humbled. There you go. I'm also humbled, but it's just bizarre. I'm incredibly grateful for it all. So thank you guys, and Valeria, thank you. Euroblob, epic name. Welcome, hello, good to see you. Hey, it's a safe space here. Yes, it is a safe space. Can all cuddle. Also, if the Bucks ever do a early mid-war tourney, there might be a DAC player among them. I know you are. Yeah, well, we're going to do that. I recently brought Warcry because of a video. Sorry. I have Infinity in some other games. Too many games. Clearly not. Clearly, there's no such thing as too many games. There's just not enough hours in the day. That's what you can have. Well, congratulations on purchasing Warcry. Apologies, but also well done. Which faction in Warcry? Where did you go? And in Infinity as well. I'd love to see another Infinity player. That's always good. Scrub that. We did that. Yay! So, which reminds me, that video that I did last week on Too Few Hours, absolutely. The algorithm recommends this live stream, so I thought I'd check it out. Infinity and Warcrow is the theme around here. Infinity, Warcrow, Bolt Action, Flames of War, Eldfall Chronicles, Wargaming in general. As a rule, I do anything but GW, and that's not because I hate GW. It is because there is enough oxygen given to GW everywhere else on the internet. You can't throw a reasonably sized D20 without slamming into a Space Marine of some description on Twitch or YouTube or whatever. So I do the other stuff. That's what I'm aiming to do with whatever my time will allow, effectively. So what about you, Euroblob? What do you play? What systems are in your wheelhouse and what do you love? Becky, if I was going to back into flight, I would want to try a Fortune Jaeger. Yeah, highly recommend. Also, if I remember correctly, you can in late war you can get a Fortune Jaeger Stug company, and I am a sucker for a Stug. Any flat panzer, but specifically the Stug, I am there. Crikey Moses, have you actually ticked a thing off the list? I just did. I did. I'm going to start taking a clog count. I think that's 3. Dean, good evening, young man, and welcome. Interesting what you were putting on Discord earlier. That was very cool. I bought Sandtrap for Infinity, and I've bought the new Song of the Dormant for Warcry so far. I want to get the Embersig Warrigged. Hang on. This is going to go sideways. You mean this war rig? Still not got any paint on it. This war rig, highly recommend. Gorgeous miniature. Absolutely stunning. what I love is that was such a smooth move, because that miniature was surrounded by a whole load of other miniatures that I couldn't see, and as I started lifting it I realised they were kind of overlapping and I could just feel them lifting. It was like, oh, don't come down, don't do that. Always been interested in Infinity, just been intimidated by the metal models. Euroblob, I get that completely. What I would say, good glue, reasonable tools, and a bit of time, and you'll get there. It's not as horrific as you would think. There's a couple of things you can do, like washing the miniatures to make life a little bit easier, and good glue, Gorilla Glue gel, definitely in the way forward for making them stick together. But yeah, I am currently beset on all sides by metal miniatures, and it's a skill you can learn. I wouldn't be intimidated by it. Just some decent tools, which I need to do a thing for, but it can be done. Welcome to the Clog Fashion Week Club. Oh, for the love of God. Right, so Euroblob, you're new here. I'm an Englishman living in the Netherlands. Cue clog jokes. So my area is dominated by 40k. I think we have 3 separate leagues going right now. Dear Lord, Perky, that is excessive. I'm sadly a bit of GW save due to my local game groups. Started on AOS. Now also do 40k Warcry Kill Team. Lately been looking into one of the one page rules of Treasure Crusade. Europe, there is no judgment for being surrounded by GW stuff. Not at all. It is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Like I say, you can't throw a D20 without slamming into a Space Marine. It is the whole thing. And it's where a lot of people start, and I have a lot of love for GW. I did. I started with Rogue Trader back in 1987, so no judgment at all for that. The only reason I don't do it is because everyone else does. And I think there are interesting conversations to be had away from that, where we can look at the cool stuff that other companies are doing and try and broaden the things that other people see and experience. And you often find a lot of communities will homogenize onto GW because everyone plays GW. And the really cool thing is, if you get 1, 2 or 3 people who actively don't play GW and they play something else, that community starts to grow. Because you get people that are like, well, actually, I'm done this. I've done 40k, whatever. So, then move on. Neil, yeah, Stug and Stu with Fulsham Jaeger. This is the way. What was that miniature? What was this miniature? This miniature is a war rig for Warcrow, which is also from Corvus Belli, who make Infinity. And it's a fantasy, slightly larger than skirmish scale type game. So it's quite light, it's quite fluffy, it's a lot about movement, 3x3 sort of table, 90-minute games-ish, depending on the size and scale, and it's got knights and it's got murder elves, and you've got stuff like, hang on, come here. I've got to build these actually. We have murder elves, and part of that is we have zombies. I'm going to focus. We have zombies. I mean, elves that bring back people from the dead. I mean, who doesn't need that? I don't know why you wouldn't need that. If only I'd painted the other stuff, I'd show it to you. So yeah, Warcry is very cool, although expensive. Just be mindful of that. Let's celebrate Infinity. Oh my goodness. Need a clogometer. We do not need a clogometer. That's the exact one. I saw it last live stream. It's so good. It is so good. It's one of those miniatures that when you're taking it out of the box, the war rig, the big guy, and you're looking at the pieces, you're like, oh, like there's a pilot underneath the chest plate. And if I was a more patient person, I wouldn't have glued on the chest plate, because the detail on that miniature is just peak. Your Discord is one of the few that celebrates Infinity. We love Infinity. Infinity is... I've been playing Infinity 13 years. I have met some of the finest humans in the world through Infinity. There's no two ways about that. And had some of the most epic experiences. And yeah, I got a lot of love for the system. It is not without faults. It is not without faults. However, Stug... Yeah. Psycho, your knowledge is awesome on all things German. Yeah, I just need to build a set of monitors for new players who come from MCP. Yeah, you need to get the conversion gear ready. Matter's awesome, and CBQ's the models in well. Yeah, most of them, Gene Dean. There are some that are a bit, but when you have your, they're okay. Super glue accelerator. Yeah, but I don't need it with the gel. I've never needed accelerators, so if I clogs 2 more times. Really, Robin? We're doing clog? No. Didn't the bass player pop his clogs the other day from Limp Bizkit, which is sad. This is a shame. I when I was in my early 20s, I liked Limp Bizkit a lot, and I still have some of their stuff, and I listen to it occasionally because sometimes you're just angry. Neil, hey, GW has a massive place in the hobby. Everyone needs a high street dealing with gateway drugs. Yes, they do. A lot of people get their start there. They're very visible. So, what's up, Robin? Be patient. I haven't even caught up with the chat. Dear Lord. That's another one of Hydra unpainted minis. It's easier to find my unpainted minis than it is to find my painted minis. It's because I spend a lot of time doing videos for you guys. So, I walk into a Warhammer store with overboard. It's just, Euroblob. There's a lot of good to be said about Warcrow. It's not a system without its issues. Cost can be one of them. It's not a cheap system to get into. But you stretch the imagination. You get the starter boxes like come here, Song of the Dormant. This is a good starter box. It's got lots of miniatures in it, and it's not ridiculously expensive, especially when you consider that it comes with all of the terrain and dice and measury bits and stuff. So it's good. It's nice, but to get up to the full sort of scale of the game, it can be GW territory. It's not full GW territory, but it's getting on for that way. So just be mindful of that one. Is the Mornab the Scion War Rig? No. The Mormab for Scions, it's just our little pet. You just stroke the face, shoot. So, I dare you. I feel lifetime ban coming. I feel like I'm letting you guys get your clogs out in public. I feel like I'm doing a public service. It's just helping you. Vincenzo, hello. Good evening, buddy. Are you well? You still have to come back on dates. We have to get dates booked in for development game. Is there a link to the Discord? I wish to join if available. Yes, Delarino, I will put it again as to members only, because it's only members that get to go into the Discord, because otherwise my public, they just overwhelm me. But, it's got to be some benefit to hanging out. But no, I'll make sure that's in YouTube for members tonight. Fun fact, I got banned from GW store for 2 months when I asked for a female guardsman, and the clerk can't don't do females. What's this about clogs, though? I appreciate a good wooden shoe. The pseudo-farm, they were just the default shows most of the time. Euroblob, I live in the Netherlands, and I'm English, clearly. Although I got accused of being Australian recently, that was disturbing. Anywho, there are a lot of other Englishmen also here, and there's a couple of things that English people know, including myself before I moved here, and it was windmills, drugs, and clogs. So, drugs will get me in trouble, and windmills you can only go so far with. Anyway, but clogs, we can do clogs all day. So I picked up the book. Bless you. Luckily, I'm at a point in my life where money is not a big issue. The perks of government work. Well, Eurobob, welcome to Warcrow. If you're used to GW stuff, this is infinitely cheaper. Where are you based in Europe? What is your territory? The minute it came out as a Dutch community, clogs were attached. This is absolutely true. You're most welcome. Perky, we finally got a GW store 3 hours away. Look, where are you? I guess you're in America. Larkbeard, hello. Good evening and welcome. Good to see you, buddy. You well? Just in time for clogs. It's always clog o'clock over here. Tulips too. It's not very, alpha male. Whereas a good wooden shoe that you can farm in, now that is a proper alpha male product right there. So it's hardly surprising. That's unfair. With a windmill, you can just go around in circles. Yes, but it doesn't get you don't get distance, do you? Unless you count the rotation of the Earth. But then everything's moving there as well. So anyway, just clogs because weird footwear. The mighty Count of Denmark, home of Legos and chess. Yeah, you're unfortunately a bit far for me to offer you to come and join our community. I would have done, like picking up waifs and strays, but Denmark's a bit of a drive. Sorry, but yeah, no, I think. There was an active community in Denmark. I now need to find out where the active community in Denmark is based. Which flag is correct for the combined clog nation? The one on the right, red, white and blue. The other one is the French, which is sideways, round the wrong way. He can join, Robin, but there's no way that he's making it here for a Saturday night for a gaming evening for 4 hours gaming without sort of leaving on Friday morning, which is fine, but a tad excessive, in all fairness. But and what I wanted to look at, I'm not ignoring you. What I'm doing is there is somewhere around here. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. There is somewhere around here that I can find a map and see whether, because I think there's a war court in Denmark that can do the demos and stuff, but finding that will be a difficult thing. You live in Canada. Oh, nice. There's a Canadian community. I know there is. We're not discriminating. Would we ever? We'd never dare discriminate. The French one is interesting. In times of war, you just need to make 2 cuts. Show some equipment to the hobby drift. Do not, right, machine, we are not having to go at people for not being prepared to travel from another country for a gaming evening in the Netherlands. Okay? That's why you're never going to be an admin of the chat. Just so we're clear, that's why. That kind of power, you don't need it. Well, absolutely. Local games, it's nice. It's nice. Right. Community. There's that button, and there's that button. That one? That one. I love how the new Corvus Belli website doesn't work on mobile. It just inspires confidence at every turn. But yeah, I'm sure there is a war court over there. But it's when... Did you know Infinity does narrative events, guys? Ah, there we go. Click the button. Right, now I've got to test my geography of knowing where Denmark is. It's up that way. We're not giving away clogs to anyone that joins the game night. I'm just tired at this point. Right, so in Denmark we have... Where is that? Copenhagen, that's hardly surprising, and outside of Copenhagen. So there's two war corps that run Denmark, and they're based around Copenhagen. So if you're anywhere close to that, you can definitely get demos. There's guys that can help you there, Euroblob. How long does it take to get that long for? Was on the cusp of getting into War Machine, but then they seem to blow up right as me and a mate were about to pick up 2 personal starters. They've War Machine kind of ran face first into a concrete block and just smeared themselves across it at very high speeds. But they've kind of pulled themselves back together now, and they've been re-released by Steam Force Games. And I'm hearing good things. Apparently the new rule set is very, very nice and is an iteration and a tidy up, I think, of what was there previously. And I keep getting ads for the miniatures, which is painful because they're so pretty. They've always been pretty. But yeah, one of those things. One of those things. I definitely am not going to play that too. Concrete clog. You're going to have a concrete clog and get chucked in the blooming... Don't you... Oh, for God's sake. Have you finished that treasure marker yet, Neil? Have you? Have you done that? Can I get a bit of cronyism and have you dropped a line for me to Los Angeles to be a Los Angeles Walker? I think I have. I've kicked Coney about 2 people. I think you might have been one of them. Remind me. Hit me on Discord, and I will play Poke the Coney, because they're just rubbish with the walkoring thing at the moment. They need more walkors. That's just definitely a thing that they need. Judging by our own community, we're just absolutely going critical at the moment, and the local walkor is going to have a breakdown. So yeah, give me a poke, and I will give Coney a poke and get him to, and then you can. It'll be great. Oh, it's coming. So if I show up in my own clogs, don't bring your own. Oh, dear Lord. Right, I never realised the Danish had clogs, but I suppose it makes sense. I'm running a Dungeons and Dragons group set in the Iron Kingdoms for my son and his co-workers. Yeah, it's such a nice. The War Machine setting is so nice. Although I don't know what happened to Hordes. Hordes just seem to sort of be like War Machine and Hordes, Warmer Hordes, splat, War Machine. So everyone has models, 5 people play. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you need somebody catalysing the community and pushing people along. It's always the way. You own 3 Hordes armies. Ugh, they were always so pretty. I loved the concept of Hordes. If you've not seen it, so War Machine was kind of the steampunk side of things, and then Hordes was War Machine but with monsters and gribblies and rah. It's great. The sole is wood, the top is leather. Oh, you've got so the Danish have fancy clogs. They're like clogs. They got probably a weirder name because they got the whole leather things on. Yeah. Hordes got collapsed. That's a shame. Yeah. Gene Dean is much knowledgefulness on War Machine. Rumour is they didn't pick up the Hordes IP. No better way to deal with a taking over a community than to cap half of it in the head in the car park on the way out. That's just glorious. So frustrating. So frustrating. I played Menenoth, but we left to another. Yes, I don't. At one point, I played Retribution and Skyra. What else did I play? Played Ret and something else. Very, very briefly. Anyway, in Danish they're called wooden shoes. Træsko? Træsko? Is that how you pronounce that? I'm learning Danish. For God's sake. Which literally means wooden shoes. I don't know how they came up with that name. Euro. I'm going to call you Blob because that amuses me. I don't know how I came up with the name Blob. It requires Robin into the corner now. And not another word until you've thought about what you've done, until you can come out and be nice. Crix. Very cool. Did love Crix. Absolutely badass. This is so bad. You're not sorry. Don't make out that you're sorry, Robin. Don't insult everybody in the room by making out that you're sorry. This is so not true. If Lancer Mech RPG ever made a model game, I'd drop everything and play that, I imagine. Yeah. There's always something that you think, if they did that, seeing as Danish and Nordic, do those clogs come with some licorice inside or some jam on the side? I don't get that at all. I'm sure somebody will. I don't. I'm just going to sit here and be bemused and confused because that's my ground state. I find it best to go through life that way. There's so many games, and I got approached the other day by an organisation, and they are repping for a whole load of game companies and RPG companies and stuff like that. And I know the guy sort of through other channels, and he sort of said, right, so I want you to rep for us, and we have these for you to start with. And it's just like, I don't have time to read the presses on this stuff, let alone to review them, and damn. Which reminds me, the few of you who were in here and offered help, it's on the list. I know the reference, I know, forgive my spelling, using the phone and my fingers are stubbers. You're fine, Dean, as long as we can get you roughly, it's all good. Seriously, this stream is about wooden footwear people. If someone told you anything else, you've been lied to. And who are the main culprits? Overboard and Robin and Neil and also for the same 50 Blob. It's my go-to stream name and what most call me. Good to know, Blob. Blob, welcome. Also, send me a list for the finals. I know you get swamped, so I thought I post it here. Yeah, I saw that you did, buddy. It's on my everything's on fire, I need to deal with that tomorrow list. So that's tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. But it's good. I have registered the fact that you've shipped your list. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because as a TO, I like to extend my authority by making everybody send me their list so I can look at it and go, oh, you dirty swine, before I okay it and let them play. I was offered to be a demo guy for StarCraft, but I have a thing called full-time job. Yeah. I have a thing called a family, which I have a pressing desire to spend time with. I quite like them. It's just one of those things. So, and I've always loved the idea of RPGs and stuff like that, but I've never got really into them. I've played several times in my life and never kind of like, yeah. What are you all building tonight, folks? I'm talking to you lot. I could build my husks at the same time, but I'm not quite ready for you all to see me again as I stick miniatures together. I'm not quite ready for that. What are you building tonight, Neil? No, I just know the man. If you sent me a list and it was kind of soft and cuddly, I'd be like, yeah, right, you had some type of illness or something happened. No, you did see dog ears. There are two pooches behind me, including a Finnish Lapphund and a German Weimaraner. So, yeah. Clogs in chat, guys, if you want to chat, for God's sake. I can't with you. Overboard, I can't with you. I can, but I can't. Or I could paint something. I could, but my stuff's in there, and I'd need to. Besides, what would I paint? I was working on. Oh, this is just annoying. Other way. I've got too many miniatures up here. I'm roughing out the paint scheme on my second Mechazoid. Need to turn the red up a lot. And probably get rid of that orange. It's not working for me. I started tinkering that in earlier. So that's good. And yes, that is one of two. The other one's already started to get his scheme dialed in. So there will be two. My opponent will be facing two Mechazoids and a Trip Hammer because I'm the TO and I don't want to win the last round. I don't like to win my own events, so therefore I'm running, just go with me on this, I'm running 3 tags in the 400 point list because that's unlikely to win. Exactly. Right, anyway. Mike Pierce. The human hand grenade has entered the chat. I briefly didn't see. For all of you who've not had the pleasure of experiencing Mike Pierce, who is a genuine legend, and always present, always a pleasure to have him here. He has the habit of just dropping a question into chat, which is just like, boom, so... he does it so innocently, like he doesn't know what he's doing, and then the whole evening just sort of bends around that. Anyway, it's always a pleasure. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. You're painting 2 maniples of battle mechs and vehicles. Nice. I will not get into a mech game. I'm not doing it. I played a half-horse cleric last time I played D&D. I was this... I'm not doing it. I'm not saying it out loud, you absolute monster. Tinker and Zedbot. Nice. Blob, currently not building anything. Had a whoopsie with my Tamiya, so no more plastic cement. That was a slight error. In gear. Good evening and welcome. In fact, good evening and welcome. Yeah, do it both sides. Just because I can. You're building 2 boxes of Crux Terminatus. Oh, that's a GW product. You're a Blob. No! Stop it! We're not putting wood and shoes into the conversation. Where can I use for the newbie tournament? Good job, Vincenzo. Thank you very much. Always two there are. 400 point event, nice. Yeah, it's an escalation league. We I think it was 250 for 200, 300, 250, 300, 400 from memory. 200, 300, 400. I can't remember, one or the other. So, Robin, no. Bo, you just said you are bringing 3 tags. You're playing a mech. Shush. It's not. They're not mechs. They're armored gear. It's very different. I'd love to explain it to you, but it's very complicated. So, sad Corvus Buddies miniatures being nice looking, but not good for running multiples of the same figure. Yeah, I'm big on. Yeah, no, I get that. One of our local guys is the same, and so he has taken to converting miniatures in Infinity, and doing quite a good job, I have to say. It's one of those things. When you look at his work, it's like, damn, that's the thing. Like the stream? Yes, please do. Please like the stream. And if you also have, I got to do the thing. If you also have Twitch, please go and follow on Twitch and leave that running in the background too, so I get more views on there, because I need that so that Twitch sees me as a valid human being that's worth knowing. And then when I stream, I'm going to stream me painting on there soon. Yeah, hey Blob, you're everywhere. When I stream painting on there, you know. What's their name? Yeah, Mechazoid. No, that's just, it's okay. That's a poor translation. Stop it. Now ask something about Infinity as a curious outsider. Of course, Blob, bring it forth. We are always ready for Infinity questions. Always welcome. I have a large shoe size, so these have to be my clogs. Oh, for goodness sake. Compensating even. I see how it is. I see how it is. Glorious. Hang on. Click that button over there. Oh, you stream on Twitch too. Ah, then I will. Yay, Twitch leeches. I will. Stereo. Thank you. 8 viewers. My God. I think that's the most I've ever had on Twitch. Hi, Twitch people who are also probably also YouTube people. What do you stream on Twitch, Blob? And what is your question about Infinity? Because as soon as you tell me what you stream and you tell me what your question is about Infinity, I am going to go on to the second of the 4 things that we're doing tonight, and we're an hour and 7 minutes into a 2-hour stream. Who am I joking? There's battle suits from Tau, unapologetically so. And now they can... Stop it. Right. So if I wanted to run a lot of the cool suits Infinity, what army should I look at? Oh. Well, suits. There's suits and there's armour, and they're not necessarily the same thing. Invincible army for Yu Ching. So, right, first of all, the thing you need to know. You have your core factions within Infinity, and then you have sub-factions within them. So, the sub-factions are called sectorial armies, and they tend to be a more specific flavour, a more specific play style than the generic one is, although generic has its own play style too. As to... Oh God, Perky, Taurific. You stream indie games. Nicely done. It's very infamous. Oh my good God. Heavy armour, yeah, Mo, military orders. So it depends what you want to go for. Kabuki-ish, I guess. Some of Rama as well has a lot of remotes. So you have things like this. Why do I not have anything painted? It's so annoying. My painted stuff is elsewhere. So you have stuff like this. This is a tag. This is a huge stumpy robot of awesomeness and doom. And in a list you'll have, normally, if you're going to run one of them, you'll have 1, but some armies will get up to 4, because they can. Then you'll have heavy infantry. I'm not going to do heavy infantry, I'm going to do remotes next. Then you have remotes, like these guys. Can I get this in focus at all? So this is a remote. Just think of it like a drone, effectively. 10 points if you can name the type of drone, Infinity players. So you can run more of those, but they are quite squishy. So you don't tend to run too many of them. And then you have heavy infantry. I have one of my wife's heavy infantry right here. And you have heavy infantry like this. So heavy infantry, you can run, there's several armies that run heavy infantry very well. It depends whether you want the kind of ultra technology kind of heavy infantry or whether you want the religious psychopaths, military orders, knights, literally knights in armor. You can do that. That's cool too. Who else? There's certain nomad factions have a lot of remotes, a lot of tags. You have multiple options. It depends how unpleasant you wish to go, to be honest with you. Yep, Corregidor, KJC, CJC, absolutely. A lot is difficult, but I say Panasiania for the 3 tag list with drones galore. Yeah, you can do that. As also, a lot of Pano has legitimate tag and drone spam. How are you saying? Be nice, Psycho. I'll send you to your room, young man. Okay, it's for the greater good I do this. Oh, dear Lord. How are we getting Tau jokes? We've gone from if anyone makes a Tau clog joke, I think the chat will explode. Yes, corgis can go to town. That's absolutely true. Peacemaker, no, that was such a noob. I can tell you don't play it. I'm surprised that Machine actually didn't chip in on that one. Any blackjack around? I don't have a blackjack around, but you can do. Yeah, that's true. But then you need to buy into US Ariadne, and that's not good till next year. Go and see if I can get Murph Max Rimless to go bird because silly. Tell me how that goes. Yeah, I will be intrigued. Zetbot is so freaking cute. Yes, it's true. The big suits and robots. If this feels from Tau as a pseudo nut army, I absolutely would. The big stuff. If you want to go for big stuff, actually probably Corregidor, bizarrely, because you can run fire teams. That's kind of fun. You get and they're locked away at the moment. Big geckos are about this tall. You can get 4 of those in an army plus another tag or 2. It's kind of cool. Oh no! Hang on, we're missing a trick, guys. OSS. Garudas and the Dakini variants, and so while it's not necessarily huge battle suits, it's an army that's made up of a whole load of robot drones piloted by a single AI, by Aleph, who is your friend, isn't it, everybody? Aleph is good, right? The only bit of Aleph that I have around is the biggest of the big. This is a Murat. This is the tag for OSS. And she is an absolute beast. And I love her. But you have a lot of remotes and heavy guys inside of that. And yeah, they're very, very cool. Bikinis and bikinis. Maximum. No, not max. I mean, I suppose you could if you wanted to, but I personally wouldn't. I feel that's a little bit too steel phalanx for me, Lockbeard. I'm not a huge fan of the old Maximouse. So the straight, that is a mood. She is so actually it was the Murat, the original Murat, that got me into Infinity in the first place, because the original Murat, that's the latest generation. The original had boobs, bunny ears, 4 arms, a booty to die for, and combat heals. And I was just like, any system that can make this into a game, I'm here for it. It was just the insanity of the whole thing. And then I played the game and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, there's OSS is probably the way to go, and it's a lot of fun, and they have some really cool mechanics, and they can be an absolute freaking nightmare to play against as well, which is also fun. So yeah, check those out. I would definitely check those out. Yeah, Overboard. That's the way to do it. Although you got to run. I mean, you can make certain players absolutely wet themselves in fear if you drop a Garuda into the backfield. Just go, ha-ha, flying robot of doom. I've been curious about JSA, but that's since Katana's mecha made my brain turn off. Yeah. If that's not going to work for you, just JSA, especially the new Shinden stuff, which, yeah, that's up there. I'm not going to bother getting it down. That if you're into that, whole thing. They're very, very cool. They also have a really, really interesting playstyle, which is funky. So yeah, that's cool. They do have, well, no, certain elements of it do have good heavy infantry. Although I guess you could argue that Shinden does in the form of He Who Should Not Be Named. But yeah. Proxies for the win in OSS, Robin, absolutely. Still the coolest rule. So what Robin's referring to there, Euro Blob, is that there's a certain type of unit inside of OSS that consists of 3 miniatures, but there's a single consciousness that moves between them. So when you activate the miniatures, you pick one to do the thing, and they all have different roles. You'll have one that's like this ultra heavy armored big machine gun type dude, and then you'll have a camouflage sniper that just disappears from the board and reappears to snipe people in the face, and then you'll have an engineer who can go off and complete missions, all on the same trooper, and the consciousness moves. It's very funky. It is very funky. So technically, because you've poked the bear there, Psycho, and this is entirely your fault. Technically, let's give them their full name. They are... Ooh, go back. Don't love that. They are the... Where are you? Operations subsection of the Special Situations section of LF. So they're technically the OSSS. But we call them OSS because otherwise it gets a bit silly. So, Karakuri are super cool. Karakuri are the reason I nearly didn't do Shinden Mutai, because according to the N5 book, Shinden Mutai has Karakuri. And then they pulled the Karakuri out of Shinden between the book coming out and N5 dropping, so the new rule set dropping. They just dropped them. I'd already bought some Karakuri. I was not happy that I couldn't run my Karakuri because they are the best. GSA, dodge, dodge, stab, murder, death. Yeah, that's about right. You missed the materializing from nothingness, stab, murder, death. That's the bit that a lot of people don't see. What is Combined Army about? I can into English. Yes, well, English is overrated. I speak it every day, I can assure you. Totally overrated. So, need to buy Alaf next. Yes, you do, Blissful Badger. I've just sold my OSS actually because it sat in a box for ages, but I already had Sellers Regret. It's fine. Combined Army. So, the aliens. Combined Army in a nutshell, very, 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 very brief nutshell, is this. I love their backstory. So they're an alien race, and the people that run this particular alien race, or that started it, want to transcend this plane of existence. What they did is they were like, what we're going to do, we are, story time by the way, get comfy, we're going to make an AI and we're going to get that AI to figure out how to transcend. So they made this super powerful AI, and it had a bit of a think and it had a bit of a scratch of its head, and it realised how to transcend. So it did, and in doing so it informed the hegemony, which is the people that created it, that actually they weren't ready to transcend and it wasn't taking them with it, and left. Which was a bit awkward for all involved. So then they decided that, okay, you can transcend, we know this, but apparently we can't make something clever enough that realises we're not ready, because that would be bad. So they made an evolved intelligence, an EIO. So they made the EI and they gave it the same task, and it realised that it couldn't figure out how to transcend because it wasn't clever enough. So what it would do is it would go off and absorb other cultures and their ideas and learn from them, and then develop a way to transcend. So they went to war basically, and are rampaging across the universe trying to get enough information together to, yeah, that's the gist. So you end up with four distinct flavours, 5 distinct flavours now, sorry, of Combined Army. You have the Shazvasti, that are sneaky alien monstery people. You have the Morats, which are scary, stabby, monstery people. You have the brand new Next Wave, which are actually humans, but with dinosaurs, because clearly that's a thing. Then you have Generic, which is the really, really horrifically scary stuff. And then you have Onyx, which is this ultra elite murder ball of a kind of unpleasantness. So, yeah, combined. We love them. They're special, but they keep winning, but that's mostly because humanity can't organise themselves. Right, back in 10 minutes, got to drag some MDF at laser. Ciao. Comfortable rain walking the dogs. Tell me all the stories. Yeah. All the stories. Oh, yes, sorry, back over on... Oh, Euroblob's also there. Oh, I got an advert for cheap viewers on Twitch. That's me sorted. I didn't know you streamed over there. I don't know. I think I know you streamed over there, Blissful Badger. That's me laughing at Lark Beer saying they're using ChatGPT as a therapist. Absolutely. So, am I correct in saying that the Nomads seems to have werewolves? They have very limited numbers. If you want werewolves, if you want woofy woof woof woofs, then what you want to be looking at is Tartary Armor Core for Ariadne. That is ultra low tech, but a lot of woofage. You get a lot of woofage for your mileage in that. Specifically, you want to be checking out Antipodes or Antipodes, depending on how you pronounce it. I will always call it Antipodes, even though I'm fairly certain it's wrong. Let me just grab you a picture, because the assault pack is life. And you can own 2 of these particular Joy machines. This one's for you, Blob. That should work. That should take you straight to a picture of some werewolves. Big woofy there, woof woofs. Guys, I'm off. Psycho, good night. Thank you for joining, buddy. It was good to see you, and I will get back to you about the list. Why finish with a clog joke? Dear God, man. Or you can get about, I think about 9 or 10 wolf models in that particular list. I didn't think dog faces were actually in TAC. Are they? I don't think they actually are. I thought they were Scottish. Let me check. Oh no, dog warriors are in there. You are quite right. So you can actually get more. Yeah. See, the problem that I always had with dog warriors is the fact that every time I face dog warriors, I put them down to dead. They didn't get a chance to transmute. So it never felt worth it. You know? Yeah, okay. I look forward to putting yours down for you. Free service, won't even charge you. So anyway, Euroblob, does that answer your initial questions? You can ask more in a second. I have other stuff that I need to talk about. So telling me, in Ariadne, I can run both the Goodest Boys and Big Armor Core Star Max. Less in Ariadne. There's very specific, ish, yeah. Oh no, actually, do they have? No, see, they haven't given. Oh, you've got the Armata. Yes, you can. You can run the big, bum. You're quite right. Yes, you can. The Armata. Yeah, that's yeah. I am here for all the Infinity. Absolutely. Yeah, you can run the Armata in TAC, Tartary, and Big Boom and Kaboom, and yeah, they're a lot of fun. They also take a lot of putting down, which is. How do you play Corregidor need tips? Right, Machine's being funny, just to be clear, because he's does very well in our local community, and at a tournament that's happening on the 22nd, which is being run for new players, I goaded him into running not his normal lists, his normal army, and in fact into running one of my armies, which I wrote the lists for, which I've given him the lists, and actually there is some real crunchy stuff in there. So, you know, he's being funny. How do you play Corregidor? Against me, badly. That's how you play it. You're blob, 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 blob. The Ratnik, yeah, absolutely. Robin Chernobog is not in TAC though. Yeah, they're in a bit of a bad issue. Well, Cosmo, not so much. I'd say that Cosmo's in a better place than US Ariadne, although that will change. Which Mike will be happy about. Yeah, I've just seen his comment pop at the bottom of the screen as I said that. Ariadne is the best right now. I collect everything if you can. You just want to see the world burn, don't you? In a single clog overboard. That's everything you want it to do. When did you get your face smashed? Were you playing against the American on an American table? Anyway, you can duo K9 and that's it. Yes, you can. Ariadna has always had interest. It just doesn't get love. It's the ginger stepchild of the Infinity world at the moment. And 3 camo markers. We're not explaining camo markers to Blob right now. He's indoctrinated to the world of GW and stuff. You gotta creep up on those guys and introduce, like, you don't place your miniatures on the board. Potentially until... Anyway. Nice. 3 HMG blackjacks and heavy flamethrowers. Yeah, there's some people that you're like, oh, I'm really disappointed I didn't get to play against them. Mike, you're going to pull rubbish like that out of your case to put on the table? Less so. Ariana has heart and character. It does. Commitment to the cause. And you've got to respect that. They got cut off for a long time. They're basically very backwards. It's very sad. Very sad indeed. I do feel for them. Right, we're going to do... Stay against one of Evandro's guys. Which one of Evandro's guys kicked your butt you using Kerrigan? Machine. Is it going to turn out that you can't play Infinity unless you're playing Pan-Oceania? Because that would be hilarious. And I would enjoy that immensely. You start with the Dynami. Dear Lord. Blob. Yeah, it's like that. But there are units that you don't put markers on the board for, but they're there. Yeah. Anyway, Michael. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Robin. I thought I heard somebody scream in anguish from. Anyway, because it wasn't Maurits. Because the way. Yeah. Anyway, so we are going to move on because otherwise we're going to get. I'm not going to get through my list. I don't get through my PS12 is unplayable. So. The joke there, Blob, and for everyone else, is so if you don't play Infinity, it's a D20 system where you roll your stat or under. So if your ballistic skill is 12, then to succeed with a shot, you need to roll 12 or under. Machine is used to having BS 13, and he breaks out in a cold sweat as soon as anything has a lower than that, because the faction he normally plays has much higher BS than everyone else. It's kind of their whole shtick. So all Ariadna needs is the ability to have more models than the opposing force. They win with sheer numbers. Yeah, but you say that, but they've just... I'm not going to blame you today, Mike. No, it's entirely Blob. But if you listen closely, you can hear him converting to Infinity. It's what's happening. This is how it starts. There's a little spark of interest. You stumble into a random live session on YouTube, and before you know it, you've got a basket full of Corvus Belli products, a handful of tokens, and you're not entirely sure what happened. Overboard. They did need that, but now they don't, because with the recent changes that Corvus Belli made with the re-release of Meravision and. Who else came down? Oh, the Scottish. They've taken all of the HMG units that were 0.5 SWC and made them 1. So whereas you could previously spam, you can't. And there's some changes in points and stuff that just made that spamming really sort of... They're in this mid-ground now, which doesn't help. So, accuracy through volume. along those lines, Blob. Only 15 miniatures. Only 15 minutes. So this is the joke, Blob. You need 15 miniatures to play Infinity, but you'll end up with 50. And that's just how that goes. I don't know it yet. It's not a cult. It's a lifestyle choice. Although I will caution you that if you do start to play Infinity and you do get into Infinity, it has a lot of people that it has ruined for other systems. Other systems become not playing Infinity rather than playing this game, because it's just some tokens. Accuracy through fire. Yeah. Negotiation through violence. Picture a gamer going on a journey. He's left GW and has entered the Infinity Zone. Infinity is a state of mind. I always maintain that the best players of Infinity do so. They play the game effortlessly. That's the real thing. If you watch somebody that really gets the system, it is freaking zen, and it's a joy to watch. It's just like, that dude is just absolutely calm, absolutely focused. Ugh, it's joyous. So I was roped into Kill Team. You only need 6 Marines, then you can play Kill Team. It's literally all you need. I now have an entire Space Marine army as a second army to point out. Yeah, that's it. So the way that it works with Infinity is you need 15 miniatures, but you're going to buy 20 because of the way the boxes are constructed. And some of the ones that you're going to get will also fit in other armies. So you've already started those armies because you bought those miniatures. So then you're just going to continue those other armies because of the, you know, you've basically already bought those other 2 armies because you bought the miniatures. It's a whole thing. Playing on a cloud. Zen as. Got to love it. If you need more people to play Infinity with you, just buy them clogs for Christmas. They'll understand, trust me. If you want more local players, what you do is you get a clog and you put a D20 in the bottom of it and you put it by the bottom of your bed, and in the morning there will be more players. 1 second. Sorry, Mrs. Hydra is getting ready to go to bed. Right. And then three factions and 1 week later. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we're all joking on it, but it's just so much good going for it. Yeah, it's hard to... Yeah, it's true. It is true. It's so cinematic. It's so engaging. It's so much fun. I already have the Corvus Play store open on my second monitor. I'm coaching. You pretty much are. Bravo. Well done. These metal winners is also less expensive than plastics for GW, so it's yeah-ish. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. From Svalaheimer, Whiteco, Yuching, they're all connected up together. It's how they get you. It is how they get you. 1 second, gentlemen. Right, sorry, bit of spousal discussion there. You're getting Night Night Lady Hydra of Clockington Manor from Neil. It's vaguely racist, that is. It's vaguely racist. Right, she's going to make a run for it. I'll leave it on. I'm just going to leave it on. There we go. Anyway. Sorry about that, spousal miscommunication on my part. So, what we're actually going to do, I'm going to jump onto the next thing that I am supposed to be talking about tonight, rather than stuff that I'm not supposed to be talking about tonight, which is, poof, this. So we have this terrain coming in from Corvus Games. This has been doing the rounds. If you're into your Infinity, if you like your Infinity, and Blob, you're going to be into your Infinity if you like. You're into your terrain if you like Infinity, because you need quite a lot and all the rest of it. This has been doing the rounds on certain Infinity communities. This is just about to drop on Kickstarter from Corvus Games Terrain. So this is STL's 3D printable stuff. And as soon as I saw this, it was kind of like, yeah, I can see. They even got like the raised platforms to stand stuff on, so you can alter the height of the sets, and you've got the various bits of scatter terrain and stuff in there. This is going live on Kickstarter tomorrow, so I would highly suggest that you check that one out. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a bump tomorrow via social media, so look out for the links for that, but it looks like incredibly well thought through and considered terrain, and I really like the fact you can alter the height of it, because there's a lot of dynamism in Infinity. You need a lot of movement and all this kind of stuff, so having the ability to adjust the height and positioning of your various pieces of terrain every time you set up is just genius in my opinion. I think that's incredibly strong and very, very good idea. We have been sent the STLs for the Kickstarter, so I'm going to be doing a review. I reached out to the guys over at Corvus Terrain and sort of said, you know, I'm really interested in this. Is this, sorry, Corvus Games Terrain? I knew I was going to get the name wrong. I reached out to them and said, you know, I'd like to help and support this. I think it's really cool. It's really good for the system. Do you offer any type of support for people like me? And it turned out that they were over the channel, they watched some of the stuff, so they were like, yeah, we can absolutely give you access and you can try it. So I've got a good friend of mine. He is a young man called Phoenix Blade, we should call him. He's going to be printing these like a maniac for me, and I'm going to get them in, paint them up, and I'm going to do a review on the site. So over here on YouTube and over on Patreon. So look out for that. It looks really nice. It looks like it's going to have the key things that you need for Infinity are the ability to sort of construct a narrative environment where the game can actually happen. It's harder than it sounds. Density is important, lines of fire important, height's important, or this kind of thing. You need an advantageous side, a disadvantageous side. There's so many things that go into it. The absolute past master, 3 men in his shed, wargaming there. Neil, the stuff that he does. Gorgeous, it's absolutely stunning. Not everyone has the capacity or the capability that that young man has for putting lights and LEDs and amazingness onto the table. But when I saw that stuff from Corvus Games Terrain, I thought, yeah, we can do something like that. We can make that really pretty. And the current setting for Infinity is Shinju, which is JSA, was the first to colonize it. So you've got that Asian feel, that kind of works. I'm kind of going to be leaning into that. I'm going to have a JSA theme, clearly, but also desert, Shinju, alien. It's going to be good. I have plans. But yeah, so anyway, you'll be seeing that in a review soon, hopefully, and everything will be grand. But if you are looking, if you do like printing your own terrain or do want to print your own terrain, look out for the links for that coming soon. And if you do join up, let them know that you came from here, because that would be nice. It's always nice to sort of, you know, for them to give and then did it. Only 2 hideout away. No, machine, you're not having my hideout. Yes, you do want this. Blob, there's no, this is, these live streams that I do on a Monday, it's all about the community, the conversation. If you want to come in and you want to talk about Infinity, you want to come in and you want to talk about painting, you want to come and talk about your week, that's what we're here for. That is exactly what we're here for. So just come in and have fun and chat, and you want to talk about Infinity, you are so in the right place. You've got some of the best Infinity players in the Netherlands in this room, and me. So that's nice. Yeah, Overboard is pretty, isn't it? And Machine, it is pretty. You're going to get to play on it. It's going to be great. I'm hoping, because next year we have a satellite tournament in May. Don't know if I'd mentioned that, but we're probably going to have a table of that at that event. So, yeah, folks, he's going to paint a thing. Yeah, I am. It's going to be great. I can do that with the airbrush, though. It's going to be that much easier. Nuclear Kid, good evening, Nerderino in Chief. Good to see you, buddy. How are you? How's your week been? You having fun? Always welcome. Young man, hang on, Neil, how old are you? Give me a figure. I always feel like that Little Britain sketch. Mal? Yeah. Robin, he sent me all of them. At one point, Phoenix Blade was like, okay, so one complete set is going to cost this much to print. And I was like, okay, cool. Hang on a second. So I wrote a full list that almost doubled the size of the stuff that I needed. And I was like, how much would that? No. You're going to get one set of everything. We're going to put it on the table and we're going to go, yeah, that works. This is what I need more. That's what we're doing. Anyway, as long as someone mentions clogs, dear Lord. I need to do clog graffiti. Beginner tips for Infinity videos. Well, you will find on this here channel that we have the Infinity Institute, which has a Learn to Play Infinity, which is all the way from what is Infinity through specific structured games to get you learning the game with other people on your own, whatever. And then I'm just at at the moment in the midst of doing the tactics videos, which is kind of to push you further and to get you deeper into the game, to get more stuff and all that kind of stuff. And that's about to evolve into something that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So yeah, I am making a tress for some squigs to sit on. Oh, a trestle table. Okay, awesome. It's not the weirdest thing that's happened this week, so bravo. It's nice to give them something to sit on. The squigs do get tired and they need some rest. It's important. You're approaching 50 from the wrong side, bud. Okay, yeah, you're old as hell. I'm good with that. Basically, you're dead soon. So, oh, a tree. That makes more sense. Infinity with clogs. Make it. Oh, had a local player ask if how to plays can be put into a playlist. It is into a playlist. Yes, it is into a playlist. Hang on. Hold my frickin' beer. There was, I'm sure, just wait there. Yeah, it's a playlist called Learn to Play Infinity. I'm going to click it. It's going to get upset. Can I share this? Oh no, I have to do it from my thing, don't I? Hang on. Why have you gone weird? Oh, they've changed everything. I just despise that. Every time that you just get to grips with YouTube, they do something and they change it. It upsets me deeply and emotionally. Learn to Play Infinity N5. 17 videos of shareable goodness. But that should take you there. Now, there's a link to the playlist. It's also on the channel content page. So that's the thing. Tree. Squid in a pear tree. Squig. I mean, you were close. I blame it on autocorrect. Say you're on your phone. We'd totally believe you. But yeah, that's the whole how to play. I need to reorganize my playlists, but honestly, it's too much of a pain in the butt. But I need to do it. So that's also on the list. I also really want to do all my thumbnails again. Anywho, I knew he was being blind. Yeah. It was, for the longest, if he does use it, let me know if it's in the right order. I think it is. But for the longest period of time, it sort of went 1, 2, 7, 9, 4, 5, 8. And you're like, they're all released in order and put in there in order. But don't forget, Neil, if he does want to get the most out of the Learning to Play Infinity N5 series, he needs to become a channel member, because when you become a channel member, you get, I think it's something like 4 hours more video on that. It's ridiculous, the amount of stuff that I put there. You're on video 6, bravo, outstanding. There was a test in video 7, so yeah, it's that series is quite chunky. It has to be said. Let's have a look. Yeah, you start out with Sand Trap, 37 minutes, and then there's like an hour and 1 minute. Oh no, that's a Patreon exclusive one. A lot of the Patreon ones, especially when you get later, are over like an hour long. Yeah, I can talk. It's technically 11 episodes in the series, or 12 episodes in the series. But there are 2 versions. There's the free version, which is shorter, and then you get the Patreon version, which is, well, it's longer. So like episode 10, starting a game, deployment, initiative, classifies and more. 42 minutes if you watch it on YouTube for free. 1 hour and 16 minutes if you watch it as a member. Yee. And there's no ads on the member versions as well. So it's just pure me for an hour and 60. God, I spend 24 hours a day with me. Trust me, it's overrated. You don't want to spend that long. Oh, that might be what he was on about. Yeah, if he was seeing the member versions, that's possible. Yeah, chunky like soup or thick like oatmeal. Chunky like a trip hammer tag. What you need to do is play Infinity so you know exactly how chunky and ooh that is. So, paywall, baby. Don't get me started. Every 3 months I get somebody that complains at me and tells me how to do my job with regards to paywalling content. And just... You'd get lots more people join your channel if you just put the whole video out for free and then they could choose to pay you later. Don't think you understand how human nature works. There are some generous human beings who are like, I really love what you're doing, you know, here we go. But so many just won't, even more won't. And it's... Yeah, so member stuff is good though. Well, thank you very much, Robin. I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's important, mate. Larkbeard, yes, F-bikes. Definitely, that terrain is definitely F-bikes. So on Patreon, we can get a trial of married life. It's full of promise, but when you actually engage with it, it's ultimately disappointing, but you're sort of stuck in a relationship that lasts and it's too expensive to leave, and ultimately you end up having your soul crushed and you sort that, no, just me. That was my first marriage, not the second. Lies. Not only Mike that can roll these grenades in. I know. Blob's like, hold my, I guess, beer in Norway. Is there anything specific? I did have a really good time in Copenhagen, actually, a while back. Bloody expensive. So many sausages. Anyway. But yeah. Apparently the Danish do like to lob the odd grenade too, but it's good, it's nice. We have a new member of the community, people. Everybody welcome Blob. Yay, Blob. Right, that was Corvus Games terrain. So that goes live, the Kickstarter goes live tomorrow for that pretty stuff that I just showed you, and look for it coming out and to the people, and definitely hop on it and just follow it and give them some love and all that sort of jazz. Do brew a beer that is really popular in Japan. If you have to stick it on a boat and send it the other side of the planet, is that a good thing? Is it a good thing? I mean, the Dutch make Heineken, which, anyway. Beer. Beers to that. So, what am I doing next? I've got 2 more things to do, and technically I've got 13 minutes to do it in, because technically this is a 2-hour stream. That's all I do, just 2 hours. That's all you get from me. I think last time it was nearly 3. But, hey-ho. Thank you for everybody that's still in Twitch. I really appreciate that. It's amazing. Japanese whiskey. Now you're talking. Don't. Beer appeared as a consumable in the user games. Amazing. Sausage. We all know you like a good hot sausage, Neil. We all know. By my weirdest claim to fame. Yeah. It's probably stranger, but I'll give you that as an odd one. That's not one. That was not on my bingo card for this evening. Let's put it that way. Right, where are we going next? So we've done this one. Boop. Hang on. That one. Oh yeah. Right. Am I doing it? I'm doing it. We're doing the thing. Ready? Is everyone ready? I'm doing this. Then we've got one. No, I'm going to save that to last. I was going to do the thing, but I'm not going to do the thing. Just discovered a new top tier gaming stack. Share with the group. Is it sniffing glue? Don't sniff glue. Because it sure as hell ain't sprue, because they don't taste very nice. And it's not paint, because that also doesn't taste very nice. Brush lickers of the world unite. Does anyone not lick their brush when they paint? I feel at this point the wargaming community is like, oh, I lick my brush and I'm very strange. And I've never seen somebody turn around and go, oh, I've never done it. I've never done it. Chili Cabanos. So, what type of gaming are we talking here? You don't lick your brush? My God. Freak. Do you use all paints though? Is that the reason why? If you use all paints, I get it. What are chili cabanos? I'm now looking. Right. So it's a chili-based sausage. It's basically a pepperoni with attitude. Okay, I'm here for it. I mean, you're not going to smell the nicest, but I'm here for it. Yes, Blob, sip the Nuln Oil, but with your finger out. So that shows you're a man of culture. Commons just swinging it back. Dinosaurs are Dynamite. That's, oh no. No, I fell for it. What was I thinking, Perkysaurus? I thought you were so nice with that name, Perky, and then you make me utter a dad joke. Oh. I usually end up with pain. Yeah. See, Blissful Badger, you are a minority. You probably save a lot of paint by not eating half of it. But yeah. I understand that's the point. The point is the point. You put a point on your brush. It reshapes the tip. And it's just, that's the point. Can't nick oil-based paint. Got to watch those calories. Absolutely. Though being oil-based, it is good for the digestion because it eases things through quickly. Just slews them through. Yeah, I've heard the Duncan Road... Okay, we're not going to have a conversation about how paint tastes. We are. I have heard the Duncan Road stuff does taste bloody awful. Yeah, I have drank paint water. Sometimes through choice. Time to rate brands of mini paint by the taste when sipped. I'm not doing that on stream. I'm not doing that. Not even for charity. It's not one of the options. No. I could do that on the wet palette without putting random things into my mouth. But if you're not going to put random... No. I get it, but it's not quite... You can roll the brush and pull the brush and you can do it in the thing and you can do it. It's not quite the same. Contrast tastes like capitalism. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Yes, it does. And woo. No, it's true. But what if we made them into jelly shots? If you want to turn acrylic paint into jelly shots, I'm not going to stop you, but I'm not going to say you should. It sounds like a very, very silly and irresponsible thing to do. Makes note for Christmas party. Okay. What if... make it a donation goal. What? No. So it's a Patreon exclusive. Oh dear. I'm not quite at the point of my YouTube career where I'm prepared to say, if we reach 200 subs, then I'm not there yet. Gene Dean, have a successful 4th period. Lovely to see you as ever, my friend. We'll catch up soon. Take care, man. Patreon exclusive. No. There's certain things that I do exclusive. Like, not just longer videos, like list reviews and stuff like that. You get some of the crunchy stuff in there. But I'm not, that's not my jam. But what I might do is get, you heard a number. Go on then. I'll tell you what, when we get to 200 subscribers, if we get to 200 subscribers before New Year, then I'll do a taste test of 10 acrylic paints. There you go. We're monetizing drinking paint. Blob's he's trying to push me into it. But what I'm hearing is he's coming further into the community, which is drawing him in. He's starting to think like an OSS player. It's just, how can I manipulate this individual to do what I want them to do? It's very LF. I'm very impressed. He's getting there very quickly. Oh. God. You're going to tell all of your friends to sign up just for comedy value. Right. Wouldn't even be the weirdest thing. Oh dear. I'm so just going to delete. Didn't say which New Year. This New Year, the one that is 2 months away. Yeah, November. No, a month away. Month and a half. Oh, but I'm not drinking a pint of paint, for God's sake. I will taste. The word was taste. I'll place some on a brush, I'll stick it in my mouth, and I'll give an honest, candid assessment. If we get to 200 subs, I will include, that's paying subscribers, then I will include within that Duncan Rhodes, just to verify Robin's assertion that it is the Antichrist of all paints. Ye gods. Anyway. Why the not? Anyway. We're going to move on. I'm not going to do that one. I was going to do a little bit of a story time, but I'm going to leave that one for another day. It's a bit raw. I'm not ready for it. So, as we're 5 minutes from the end, before we get into more trouble, end up with more challenges. Jokes don't become dad jokes till they are full grown. Oh God, Perky, my poor little Twitch feed. I look over to it, and Perky's just in there dropping dad jokes like a boss. Right. Happy to have added a bit of chaos. I think it's nice the Mike's had a bit of a rest, to be honest with you. Normally he's the one in the middle of it, so got to include Citadel just to make you squirm as you buy it. I will never do thin coats of regret. Absolutely nuclear. There is Citadel paint over there. In fact, if you look closely, you can see Citadel paint next to the lava lamp. It's there. May as well use the chat if we're sitting in here. I appreciate you sitting in there, Blissful Badger, very much so, and putting stuff in. It's good. It is good. Right. We have got one more topic for this evening that I'm going to hop to. That is, and actually this is probably timely from the perspective of having Blob in the room, but ta-da, it's the December releases for Infinity. Now you'll note that I have not included the repack that's coming in for JSA, because I don't care about repacks. Don't care about that at all. So what have we got going on? We have got Achilles, obviously, so that's next wave. The boss man, the governor, the Dalai Lama is finally arriving a full month after the factions dropped. So central unit inside of the faction. It's good that's coming out so quick. He's coming out on his own. I thought he was coming out in a set, but he's actually coming out on his jack, which is nice. And he's going to have a different way to... You've got two different routes to put him together. You can put him together with the Spitfire or with a sword, which is kind of cool. Yeah, we're coming back to that model. Coming back to that middle model in a minute, Blob. Don't worry, we're coming back to it. If you're a fan of Dune, obviously the Zabek and the Zabek operator, that is the vehicle, the flyer for both Kapukalki and generic hack. Which is if I own a flyer, it's going to be that. I won't get the rest of the faction. I'm not going to end up playing Capu. I was tempted at one point, but I'm not going to. Blob, where you have the red symbol and the yellow-green symbol on the right, and the purple and the black symbol next to Achilles, those are faction symbols which tell you which factions they can go into. But being consistent and totally always professional, Corvus Belli didn't, I think, actually do that with the big guy on the left, who we'll name in a second. So, porno fopter. The Zabek is such Dune vibes, and it's so cool. It's such a cool miniature. I need it on principle. It's just awesome. I love that so much, and a pretty good profile as well. Actually, it's a pretty funky dude in game, from what I remember. Because I think it has an ejection system, which is why you have the operator. So if you shoot the damn thing down, which you're going to want to do because it's a pain in the butt, then the dudesman comes out. So what should we... I'm going to look at the stats for it for a second. 18 movement, BS 13, which is not bad. Fist 12, whip 14, which is potent. Arm 5, 6 BTS and 3 structure. Oh goody, something else that won't frickin' die. But it's got albedo -6, so it's not going to get... It's MSV Hunter. That's a rare breed. Aerial, B attack -3, because of course. Courage, dodge -3, because of course. Super jump 3, so 11 on that first move, unless you're an idiot. Super jump, jet propulsion, tech recovery, because everything does these days. And yeah, it's got an escape system on 2. So essentially, when you take the first 2 structure out of it, that pilot goes twing, and out they come. 33 points, 1.5 SWC, AP Spitfire, which is horrific, and a smoke grenade launcher. So we have vision control for everyone else, and then we have the albedo -6 for the MSV. So the only thing that can see through the smoke, you just get to ignore anyway. Right. That's a joy to behold, isn't it? And when the Zabek operator's on the ground, she's still albedo -3.
BS13, whip 14, 3 arm and 3 BTS. BS attack -3, courage, specialist operative with stealth, Spitfire decharges and a boarding pistol. These vehicles, man, they're mental. They are absolutely bonkers. Unbelievable. Right, so that's those, and we've kind of teased it long enough. The guy on the left, the big guy with the woman on top of the box, blob, that is a single unit. So the model on the far right is, I wouldn't say she's far right, probably slightly conservative. Yes, she is. She's the pilot for the copter. You can actually see, if you look at the picture of the copter, you can see a hand holding the green bit towards the front. That's her inside the copter, and you can see her leg with the pouch, the green pouch that's on the right as you look at it with the miniature is inside the copter at the bottom. You can just see that. Yeah, anyway, so on the left we have the Anaconda and the Anaconda pilot. So those, the woman on the side of, on the box, blob, is inside the big robot stompy dude, essentially. So the Anaconda just got such a glow up. It's just this thing. I mean, right. 16 movement, which is fine. CC21, BS13, which is not bad. Fizz 16, okay. Whip 13, okay. 7 arm, 6 BTS, 3 structure. That's quite chunky. ECM guided -6. BS attack, saving roll -1, so standard tag fair. Courage, dodges on 11. Gizmo kit on 11. Immune to AP. So that arm 7 is arm 7, which is fine. She's got attack aware, so she's got that bonus order. Transmutation, so it's got the escape system, so you take 2 wounds off of the tag and then the little lady on the box comes flying out and she goes off to cause mischief. And she has Warhorse. The tag has Warhorse, so the tag doesn't care about negative effects, really. Loss of lieutenant, if memory serves, is not a thing. Retreat is not a thing, and it can't be isolated. A tag that can't be isolated. That's not broken at all. Then if you do manage to sort of eject the pilot, you have a BS12, mimetism -3, specialist operative attack aware and Warhorse with a Spitfire and smoke grenade launcher in the pilot. Still worth 59 points now. Still worth 59 points. And you can either take AP Spitfire, heavy flamethrower +1 burst with the Thunderbolt AP, which there's just no need for, or a heavy machine gun, light shotgun +2 burst, and a Panzerfaust. Both 59 points, both 1.5 SWC. Oh, the Anaconda is a beast. It is an absolute beast, I have to say. And I love it. I've always loved it. I love it even more now. Right, what were the questions? Got to love the tag sculpt. Yes, you do. Tactical exchange launch. Yes, it is. The last Nomad one was, yeah, it wasn't great. Oh, for goodness sake, Noodly Kid. 16 movement means 16 inches or centimeters. It's all in inches. Everything's in inches, but it's not 16. The movement was 6, 2. So 6, you have 2 values for movement in Infinity because when you activate a unit, you can do 2 things. So if you do a move and then another move, you'd move 6 inches with the first and then 2 inches with the second. Essentially, that's the simplest way forward. It is rude. It is damn rude. Also, the Achilles and Anaconda paint jobs are really good. Yes, they are absolutely stunning. The Zybeck is pretty too. Oh, Blob, they leaps and bounds beyond mine, and I've been doing this 13 years. That you have to have sold your soul to, yes, some very unpleasant people to be that good, to be honest. But it is what Infinity does. You're gonna, if you join the system, there are new releases every month. There are major releases twice a year. So you get the multiplayer boxes, like that's what this thing over here is. This was one of the ones we had at the end of this, a couple of months ago, actually. So this is a 2-player box. You get one of these for Infinity and one of these for Warcry every year. And then we'll get army packs, so one for Warcry and one for Infinity, of 10 miniatures for a faction that's either getting redone or launched into the game. Although this year we've had 2 army packs, action packs, because of course we have. So yeah, look at those paint jobs, something to aspire to, right? That's the thing. It's it's something to work towards, and you can learn from, and you can do your own thing. And you've got to decide where you want to be. I mean, I can be a better painter than I am with the work that I do, but I'm impatient, and there's a finite amount of time that I like to spend on a miniature, and when it starts to get beyond that, I just lose focus. So I have learnt that there's a point that I can paint to, and I'm good. It's right in a sweet spot. It looks fine. It's good to tabletop standard, but it's not too far. And yeah. Aspire to where you want to be. No, Robin, it is no longer Angel Corraldez. I can't remember who it is. I did know, but I can't remember. I think there's a couple. So you'll sell to Pano, and they upload the painting skill to your cube. New releases every month, so a subscription. You wish it was a subscription. No, it's not. You wait with a nervous sensation in the pit of your stomach around between the 1st and the 10th-ish of each month, waiting for the sound of the fingers of Corvus Belli to creep into your wallet. And then when the announcement happens, you're kind of like, do I look? I don't want to look. I don't want to know. I have to know. I have to look. And then you find out what you're spending your money on. So it's a cross we bear. But it's good. It's because Infinity is a game that evolves with every miniature that's added to the game. You get new stuff with every month, and a single miniature can change the complexion, the way that your entire army runs. They can them releasing a new miniature can have such a profound effect, and it's so cool. And it is how you end up with 50 miniatures for a single army. It's not a problem, it's a feature. So yeah, but it's good, and every month is hype, so this is always nice. And then they do limited edition miniatures, and then you have the tournament packs as well, because the the internet-based influencers come along and tell you to buy more stuff. They do. It's terrible. It is terrible. Somebody called me an influencer the other day, and I laughed. I'm not. That's not, I don't think, anyway. So I don't include myself in that group. If that was a jab, straight over the top. But, Blob, so, tell the group, tell your friends, we're all friends here now. Are you a competitive player? Do you like a bit of competition? Or are you more casual? Are you a filthy casual player? You're not a filthy casual, you know what I mean. Because, if you are a competitive player, if that's your shtick, if that's your thing, well, you'll love Infinity. Because we have the Infinity Tournament System, ITS. You bought Eldfall. So it spreads. Good job. What did you go for? Tell me. Which did you buy? Sorry. So ITS is a global ranking system for players, and you can create and enter tournaments which are ranked on a global level by ELO, basically. So you can place yourself how good you are in the world, which is kind of cool. And you get, as part of that, tournament packs. Where did mine go? I got a new one in today. I don't know where I am. There's an old one over there. But they always have limited edition miniatures in that are only available for that year inside the tournament pack. In fact, that is not a normal Marut. That is the limited edition Marut. That was only available 2 years ago for ITS, and now you can't get that anymore. So you also have that, which is kind of funky. So I tend to prefer narrative play, but I'm willing to get down and sweaty. Former MTG grinder. Gotcha. Yeah, Infinity will do all of that, but it's more competitive than it is narrative at the moment. Although there are signs they're going to be starting to push the narrative side again. I needed to take a photograph of some narrative stuff for somebody. I need to do that. Nice. So Thenian and Sand Kingdoms. Very nice. Very good choice. Got Sand Kingdoms up there. I need to get rid of it. That's the one I'm not going for. Helion and Soga here. So I do the other side of that particular coin. Blob, we're talking about Eldfall, which is a game by Free Company, and it is literally, by design, Fantasy Infinity, but smaller. So you have 4 miniatures in an army. It's a very funky game. Narrative Infinity, here we go again. We're not doing it. We did that last week. I'm not talking about a narrative again today. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done with it. I've done 3 out of my 4 things on my list, and that's all I'm going to do now. Can't make me do more. Not going to do it. My goodness. Always overrun. It's terrible. It is terrible. So. The last thing I'm going to say is, before I head off into the distance, if you are watching, sounds like Aristea, it's Larkbeard. If you've not checked out Eldfall, you really should. It is a lot of fun, and it is beautiful miniatures. I'm not going there now. I'm not going to dive into Eldfall. We're not doing it. You can't make me. Single player, narrative play, competitive play, it's all that. Anyway, 4 miniatures. Yeah. No, you don't need to be. It's 3 to 4 miniatures. Some factions you get more, 5 or 6, but it is very small scale. It's very focused, and each game is about an hour long. It's brilliant. Really, really good game. I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. Right. The last thing I want to talk about is that this week there should be a new... Yeah, I know, Robin. Beard, go there, do it. See, Neil, you're now an influencer. Well, you are an influencer. You've got your own YouTube channel. You definitely do. So, gents, the 3x3 table. 3x3 table. And the stuff, Robin, the work you did with that. You with fantasy miniatures is godlike. You with miniatures, you're a good painter. It disgusts me. Looking at Battle Force, lots of samurai. That is Soga. That is my main faction. What? I didn't recommend me to you. The algorithm went, this person's going to just entertain you, and here I am. I've even agreed to eat paint because of you. What the Anyway. Yeah, but we get people to go and buy household appliances. I mean, challenge accepted. More rolling dice. Perfectly normal. You need to qualify that on Discord, not now. So, this week. My goodness. I'm not going to be doing anything on Warcry this week for a couple of reasons, but what we are going to do this week is we are going to do a little video that I've been meaning to do for a while. I'm trying to clear down. So like the video last week for the bolt action terrain, it's been on my to-do list for ages. I needed to get rid of it, so I got rid of it. I said I'd do the video and I hadn't. So we've got a video coming up this week for what it actually costs to get into Infinity. So don't watch that one, Blob. Don't go near that one. You don't want to know. So I'm going to cover the whole thing to actually start Infinity, how much it physically costs. You're perfectly happy. Good, Blob. I'm glad. You found your people then. As long as it's only your wallet that's complaining, we're good. So I'm doing that. And I'm going to be doing the first of a extension to the Infinity Institute. So the Playing Infinity guide, effectively. The video that I did last week, I had some real strong feedback from people who were less newbies and more intermediate players. They've been playing for a while and they wanted to upskill. So I'm going to start moving to topics for players to upskill with, effectively. It's you know the game, you know how to play it, you know what you're doing, here or there, you've kind of got a good feel. And we're going to start talking about, like this week, we're going to talk about deployment. what flavors of deployment there are, how they work, what you can do, how you can make them, how you can list write to create them, and what you can do if you face them, and all that kind of stuff. There's going to be some back and forth with that. So the free version is going to be an overview of these are the generic types of, and then the members and Patreon video is going to have some list examples of like, this is a style of deployment, this is a style of deployment, and if you went first you do this, if you went second you do this, and how that fits together. So we're going to start doing that. I'm going to start bringing more development content, basically, rather than just newbies, baby's first hacking device. We're going to move on to, okay, you know, you could sort of use the hacking device without sticking it in your ear or poking up your nose. You've got that much. How do we go further? What can we move on to? So that's what we're going to do with that. And there's going to be an update of the project for the Interplanetario, the Shock Army, how that's going. Teach machine, get in the bin. You don't need teaching. I don't want to teach. I want to teach other people how to beat you, because anyway. Because if my dice had actually turned anyway. No, I'm fine. Still hurts. But you don't need any teaching. You know your stuff. And then an update on Shock Army and how that side of things is going. But that's going to be members only, and possibly a look at a list. Actually, there's a list that I ran a little while back that could do with a discussion. So it might even be 4 videos this week, and they're all going to be Infinity. Next week there's going to be some Bolt action, and some Infinity, and some Warcry. So next week's going to be more varied. This week's going to be all Infinity. My goodness, how lucky are you guys? So with that, thank you all for joining. It's been fantastic to have you all here, and a genuine Blob, thank you for becoming a member. That is phenomenal. Thank you, buddy. That is really, really kind. Very much appreciate it. That's incredibly kind. Cheers, buddy. Blissful Badger. Looking forward to all those videos. Good. That's what I like to hear. I'm looking forward to making them all. There's stuff that's been done. Yeah. Let him play anything else than Pano, and he falls to bits. Yes, Euroblob is officially one of us. Welcome. I will be putting the link up to the Discord so you can come and join the funny farm later on, and seeing how that goes, basically. So that will be exciting. Yeah, I'll put that will be put up as a message to members only, so that only members can find it effectively, or literally, because that's important. But that's very kind. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you to come in for the first time, and I'm glad you've enjoyed the insanity sufficiently that you've decided to become a member of the community. But if you have any more questions, you can stick that on the Discord, because that's exactly what the Discord side of things is there for. But what's this doing? Sorry, brief moment of insanity. So Euroblob, thank you for joining. Dillarino, also thank you for joining as well, buddy. 2 in one evening is amazing. That's so kind, and really, really appreciate it. But for now, I am going to call that a night. Thank you all for joining and hanging out. It was great. I just need to make sure I pull a suitably blank expression before I say goodbye, because otherwise Neil screen caps it and sends it to me later, because he's funny. Aren't you? Yeah, you are. But no, thank you all so much for joining. It's really, really great. I'm really enjoying spending this time with you on Mondays. I'll be back same time next week. But aside from that, I'll see those of you who are on Discord, and look for the videos coming soon. And don't forget to other socials and stuff, Facebook, and not Twitter, because I deleted that this week. Don't do that. But Facebook, definitely, because I'm old. And yeah, I will see you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining. Take care and have a great week. Goodbye.